it can be really difficult to know what the interviewer expects on the big day. So I usually focus my candidates who I coach onto 4 areas of preparation that they need to cover. So in this video, I'm just going to really cover those areas very, very briefly, just highlight those areas briefly and explain to you what resources you need in order to get all the information that you need to be as confident as possible and to be as informed as possible so you can then deliver a good presentation on the big day. So area number 1 that you need to research is the business itself. Obviously the business is important so that you can prove how knowledgeable you are about the business and understand how much of a fit you'd be in the business. The second area is the role. Obviously this is also related to your fit within the business, your fit within the role itself, your fit within the team as well. The third area that's important for you to research are the people. So the key people being, for example, the chief executive officer. And the fourth area, the final area that I usually focus my candidates on is to research the interviewers themselves as well, because obviously whoever's sitting in front of you, you need to know a bit about them in order to spark up a conversation and really get to know them so that you can show them that you have a real interest in not only the business, but also the people within the business. And why is it important to cover these 4 areas? Well, once you've covered these 4 areas, you'll feel a lot more confident because you'll have such a thorough understanding of what's expected. You have a thorough understanding of everything that you really need to know. And you'll understand as well, as I said before, if you're going to be a good fit for the business and for the role. And I mean, on top of that, you'll be able to then obviously, as I said, communicate that fit across to whoever it is who's interviewing you. Another reason why it's so important to cover these areas is that you can actually show interest in the role, in the business. And by that, I mean, you need to be enthusiastic when you are sitting in front of whoever it is that's interviewing you. And that enthusiasm stems from your understanding of the business, what their mission is, etc., for example. So you need to communicate that back to the interviewers by asking them informed questions. And obviously the only way you can become informed is by doing the research on those 4 areas that I discussed. The other reason why it's so important to cover off these 4 areas is because you also need to know how to answer questions in a way that is informed as well. So it's not about just asking questions, but it's also about answering questions in a way that shows that you know what you're talking about and that you know that really this role and this business and this team is a really good fit for you. And onto the resources that you're going to need in order to sort of accomplish all of this and get all this information. So the resources I usually recommend are, for example, social media sites. LinkedIn is a great place to start when it comes to research about a business, for example. You can also use YouTube to watch videos and to get information about the team, to get information about events that they may have, and some of the actual interviews themselves. Some of the key speakers may even be on the speaker circuit. So if you watch one or two of their speeches, you'll be able to get more of an understanding of them, not just from a personal standpoint, but also from a professional standpoint. The third area or the third resource that you'll need is obviously the internet. The internet has so much rich information that you can use for your interview. And one of the areas I normally recommend that you go to when you're doing research for your interview is news sites, PR sites, because often some of these businesses will upload PR stories of any services, new services or products that they've launched, or any acquisitions that they've made. So again, having that sort of information is gold, really, and it can show the interviewer that, when you actually communicate that back to them and tell them and let them know that you know this, that can show them that, as I said before, that you are interested in the role and interested in what they're doing. Another great resource as well are libraries. So, bricks and mortar libraries. I have a business library. I'm fortunate to have a business library near to me, and that business library has databases as well. It has records and newspapers that I can refer to in order to get the information that I need from any particular business that I want to. And the final piece of, or the final resource that I usually recommend is a company website. And again, this is gold because it tells you so much about the business. It tells you, what they're all about, their culture. It should give you a breakdown of their origin, of when they're established, for example. It should tell you about the people within the business. So all of this information combined is really a rich resource for you that you can use to, as I said, create an image, a great image, create a great story yourself that can demonstrate that you're a good fit for them, not just for the team, but also for the business.